Hey YouTube, today we're going to be looking at a firearm that I'm kind of excited and been wanting to get my hands on and show on this channel. And what we have in front of us here is an FN Reflex chambered in 9mm. And before we go any further, I'm going to show you that this mighty 9mm doesn't have anything in it. And we are clear to make this video. So what we have here, this is an FN Reflex chambered in 9mm. I'll show you a little close-up of it here. It says 9x19, has your little FN sign, and it says Reflex on the side. And on the other side, it just says 9x19 and pretty much nothing else. And this gun is awesome. I'm going to tell you what. This is an awesome little gun. It's got awesome texturing on it. It comes with a little backstrap piece here, I believe, in the box. I can't remember, but it also has a little pinky extension, so with the small magazine you can get your full grip on this thing. And I know that's important to a lot of people, but you can also put the flush mount one on there and you would only be able to get 2 fingers on it. But this is the latest. This thing's only been out a few months now. This is the latest craze, is these little micro 9mm, and it's got an awesome sight picture on it. It's got 3-dot sight system on it. This front one's like a kind of like a red outline on it, so you can really pick that up really well. And this is what everybody wants, is these little carry 9mm. It's super thin right here, and this thing's main claim to fame is how many rounds it holds. So with the small magazine in this thing, this will hold 11 rounds of 9mm in a package this small, and that is absolutely amazing. This thing will fit in the palm of your hand. It's super thin. It's got a short grip on it, which is very important for concealed carry. I live in a state that does not allow open carries, so concealed guns are very important in this state, and this one is a perfect one. Now, what FN also does, it includes an extended magazine that goes in this thing also, and it makes it like a full grip gun, and it's really not that large with it in there. And this magazine here will hold, wait for it, 15 rounds. 15 rounds of 9mm into a gun this small, folks, and that is absolutely amazing. A package this thin, and you're carrying around essentially 15 rounds. Now I'm going to show you what really makes this gun cool. Now, Sig Sauer is the one that got this whole party started with the little pre-365 they came out with several years ago. It was a micro 9, and they figured out how to cram a lot of 9mm rounds into a gun of this size. And then Springfield came out with the Hellcat, and I think they all got one now. They got a Ruger Max 9, and I think Taurus has a little one now, and FN was the last one to the game. I think FN perfected it. FN really makes good stuff. I'm a real big fan of FN. They usually tend to cost a little bit more, but usually you get really good quality. This one here is not terribly expensive. It's going to cost more than a Taurus, but it's not really that much more than a 365 or something like that. It's a little bit more. But if you look at this this finish work on this thing, it's absolutely amazing. FN just really does a good job at everything they do. So I'm going to show you what makes this one a little bit cool. So in order to break this thing down, you got to lock the slide back. You always make sure that it's not loaded, which we've already done that. You take this tech down lever and you push it up. And then you release it, and the slide comes right off of it. And then, just about like every other firearm that you're familiar with, you just take this barrel out of it, just lifts out, and there it is, folks. It's just like pretty much any other smaller polymer frame gun that you have. So we're going to stick this back in here. We're going to put the recoil spring back in. Snap it into place, and we're going to set that aside, and I'm going to show you this main claim to fame. This is not a striker fired gun. This is actually a hammer fired gun. So we're going to pull this trigger a little bit and see, it actually has a concealed hidden hammer in it. Kind of looks like a little AR hammer, if you want to be honest with you. and it just cocks when the slide comes back. It cocks the hammer back, and then when you pull the trigger, I'm not going to do it without the slide on it. It releases this hammer here. So this is a hammer fired gun. So what does that mean to me, folks? That means this thing's got a phenomenal trigger. This has got like kind of like a 1911 feel to it, the trigger on it. And as I've said about 1,000,000 times on this thing, on this channel, they don't make bad 1911 triggers, and the reason being is it's a hammer fired gun. So you just slide the slide back on, you lock it into place, and you push this takedown lever back down, and it's back together, and it's back in business. Now, one of the things about this gun is because it's a hammer fired gun is you have to rack the slide all the way back. You can't do little half racks and then do the reset on it, because it has to actually cock that hammer. And I want y'all to look at this trigger pull on this thing. There's no take up whatsoever. That's just a little safety mechanism. No take up whatsoever, and then it just goes off. And then the reset is going to be right here. So tactile, and then it just goes off. There's no mushiness, no Glock sponge in it or anything like that. This thing has got the best trigger of any small frame polymer gun that I have personally ever felt. I saw one when they first came out, and I was like, I have to go get one of these things, and I have to show these folks this. This thing is the best micro 9mm on the market. It's not even close, folks. With the capacity that you get, and you get this trigger, this sight picture, and this kind of fit and finish work on this thing. I mean, this thing doesn't wobble around or anything, as you can look. Awesome texturing, awesome finish work, awesome actual finish on it, awesome trigger, awesome capacity. You can put up to 15 rounds in this thing, and you get a package this small, this thin, for a carry gun. I don't see how you could go wrong. I don't think there is a better micro 9mm out there right now than this gun. FN is not paying me to say this. I'm telling you the truth. I'm always honest with you folks. This is where it's at. If you're into the micro 9mm, and if you're into 9mm at all, you know capacity is something that you need when you're carrying around a 9mm. Well, this is probably one you should look at. It costs a couple extra dollars than, you know, your little your average little Taurus or something like that, but you get what you pay for when you buy an FN product. FN is always top of the line stuff. But anyway, folks, I wanted to show you some of the features of this thing, show you how awesome this trigger is. It's got a little textured raised up magazine release. The magazines just drop right out of this thing really easy. They have like orange followers on them, so you can see when it's empty, I suppose. There's no external safety on this or anything like that, but that's actually a positive to me. I'm not an external safety guy on a carry weapon. I think it's one more step to get to. I believe that this is reversible, but I do not know that for a fact. But it's not completely ambidextrous because the slide stop is only on this side, folks. But anyway, folks, I want to show you this FN Reflex chambered in 9mm. It's an 11+1 or a 15+1 capacity, and a very small, thin, light package, carry package for a 9mm gun. If you have any questions on this, folks, I'll be happy to answer it for you. And as always, thank you very much for watching my video today, and you folks have a great day.